Good day and welcome to my workshop. My name is Tomasz and you're watching Casual DIY channel. In today's video, featherboard for the fence of my table saw. So let's have a go at it. Recently I made this featherboard for my table saw. Okay, it goes into the mitre slot and it holds the piece of the timber, wood or anything you're cutting against the fence, and it works absolutely brilliantly. Now the link to this project will be down below in the description of this video, so you can go and have a look, as got already a piece from that project. Okay, so I'm going to be using this to create a featherboard that will attach to the fence itself. Okay, so we're going to be able to use it vertically, pushing the piece of timber, anything else you're going to be cutting, down to the table of your saw. Now, as I said, I already got a piece that I'm going to use for this particular project. I need to cut it down to the correct sizes. However, just so you can see the process of how this was made, I'm just going to roll a 1-minute clip so you can see how you can quite easily get to this stage. First of all, the material I'm using, it's 18mm MDF. It's not perfect choice of materials, but that's what I've got in my workshop. However, plywood or hardwood would be far better if you've got it. Now, as you can see, I'm actually using my mitre saw to tackle this project, to cut out the feathers themselves, and I'm using some spacers to make sure the feathers are at equal distances. Okay, so we have arrived at this shape. I'm just going to be cutting it out. I've marked some lines here and there so I can achieve the particular shape I want. In my case, I'm using a bandsaw to make the cuts. However, if you've got a jigsaw or just a normal handsaw, you can do these cuts quite easily. Now the feathers themselves, they're way too long for what we need, so I'm going to trim them with my bandsaw as well. With my pillar drill, I'm just going to pre-drill some series of holes on each side of this featherboard. That will allow me to create a channel for the bolts so I can attach it to the fence. And after that, I'm just going to clean it up with a rasp. Now we need to think how we're going to mount the featherboard onto our fence. Well, with the Rage 5, we are actually in a bit of luck. The fence itself has got a T-track of some sort. It's not a full T-track, but it will do the job for what we need. So as you see, I'm just using my mitre saw to cut out a few pieces of MDF. All of them are 18mm. We just need to make something that will be able to attach to the fence and then our featherboard to it. Okay, so we've got a piece on top that's the same width of our featherboard, just like so. So it's going to go like that. Okay, that's going to be the base on our fence, and we're going to use the back T-track just over here. Just going to mark the middle for it so we can pre-drill some holes for some bolts. Okay, so that's our base that will be on the fence itself. Now we need another piece that will go just like so. Okay, we need to pre-drill 2 more holes for the bolts to go through, and these will be holding the featherboard to our contraption that's located on the fence itself. Okay, so I'm going to pre-drill the holes, then I'm going to glue this to that and add some additional screws to make sure it's a nice and steady connection. Now I'm going to add a slight countersink to 2 holes in the vertical piece. Thanks to that, I will be able to hammer through the bolts and basically get them stuck inside of the MDF so they won't spin when I'm going to be adding the knobs to secure the whole thing. Okay, so that's our fence. I'm at the back of it. You can take off that plastic cover just like so. Obviously, if you never took it off, it may be a little bit harder to take it off, but it will come off. Now, I'm using M6 bolts, nothing special about those. And look at that. They fit absolutely perfectly in those slots. Okay, put the cover back on. All right then. Goes like that. To secure the base to the fence itself, I'm going to be using some washers and wing nuts. Now I'm going to add the featherboard, and to secure the featherboard I'm just going to be using some plastic knobs and 2 larger washers. Now as you remember, this featherboard, okay, needs to be, the last feather here needs to be before the blade, okay, that's very important, and I said that in my last video. However, with this one, that's not the case, okay, that is just pushing the piece that we're cutting through to the table, so it's got nothing to do with the blade, so we can place it accordingly when we want it. So I'm just going to make sure it will stay here. I'm going to lock it in place to our fence. Okay, this is now super solid. Let me just put that right up so you can see it better. Okay, and this is solid. This is not going absolutely anywhere. Okay, let's set this up and let's give it a test. Right, so I've got both of the featherboards set up just like that. As you can see, that's holding it down, and this is really stable, okay? This is not going absolutely anywhere. It's actually very difficult to pull this out. Okay, let's give it a spin. Absolutely perfect. Everything's super stable. As you can see, everything is working as it should be, and the cuts are made super easy. And there you go, super simple thing to make, and it really makes a difference as you are pushing the piece of wood through the blade. There's no movement, okay? You are secured. You are secured by the featherboard that's on the base over here and on the fence itself. And I have to say, you know, that will help you to minimize any issues when it comes to kickback and any safety concerns. As long as everything's set up correctly, you are really improving the flow of work that you're going to be doing. Now in this case, as you can see, we are quite lucky that the fence has got a T-track of some sort. However, if there was no such thing on your table saw, what you need to do, put another piece of MDF plywood or whatever sheet material you're using at the back of this, and basically you can, the featherboard itself, you can just use clamps and clamp it to your fence, and that will work absolutely fine as well. Now I'm quite lucky with this table saw, and I can actually attach it, move it everywhere I want it, and you know, it will stay there when I secure it with the wing nuts. Absolutely fantastic, guys. I fully recommend you actually tackle this little project. As you can see, it's really easy and quick to do. Probably going to take you 40 minutes, not longer than that. However, if you want to see some other project videos that I do around workshop improvements, jigs and all that, there's a really cool playlist just over here, so you can click that, and I'll see you on those videos. Take care. Thanks for watching.